So who am I? They were like, I don't know who this girl is. So my name is Holly O'Brien, and I am a shift coach. And what is a shift coach? Oh, Allison's on. Hi, Allison. Thank you. So I am a shift coach. I help women make a shift in their life so they can move past all the barriers that are holding them back, and they're able to heal, they're able to grow, and they're able to pay it forward to someone else. So I not only have experience with outward beauty, I've been a professional makeup artist in the TV industry for 20 years, but I also have experience with helping people with their inward beauty. So outward confidence and inward confidence is what I do. So shift coaching, who's here and ready to make shift happen in their life? Put shift in the comments. Make shift happen. Because guys, here's the deal. When shift happens, shift can happen. You can either shift in the right direction or you can shift in the wrong direction. How many times have you shifted in the wrong direction? Say me. Everyone needs to say me, right? So I'm here to help you shift in the right direction. And one of those shifts, it really needs to start with belief. It needs to start with belief in where you are and the stories that we're telling ourselves that may be holding us back, right? You are most likely in the position you are today if you're not where you want to be because of something. Yes, 100% wrong direction. Allison's like, yep, been there, done that, gone in circles, right? You most likely are where you are today and you don't even realize why you're still there. Can I get an amen? Right? So I'm going to help you with that today. So I have something that I do, a training that I do. And if you've heard this training before, you know what you're allowed to say and not allowed to say. So please don't ruin it for everybody else, right? So I have a training that's called What's Your Bike? Probably sounds a little weird, right? What is your bike? That's weird. What does that mean? The stories we tell ourselves that may be holding us back. So I'm going to do a little bit of a demonstration just so this sticks in your brain. So you guys know what's going on. So you guys ready to shift? I'm ready to shift. I got people saying, I'm ready to shift. So here's the deal. I'm going to show you a picture. It's kind of hard to see though. So hopefully you guys can see it. So I'm going to show you a picture of something. What is this? What is this? What am I holding? Can you guys see? Oh no, I've got my blur on. You may not be able to see it. Can you guys see it? Can someone say the first person to say, can they see? A bike. Good, Allison. Okay, you can't see it. My little blur is on because I got new puppies. So I've got the puppy all in the background, all in his little cage. It's actually one of those baby crates. A bike. Yes. Okay, it's a bike. Right. So this is a bike. A bike. Perfect. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Wait. It's a bike. Let's see. It's a bike. Right. It's a bike. Okay. So this is a bike, right? Hold on. Can you guys see? I'm trying to get on the bike. Hold on. Is this a bike? Let's try one more time. What is this? Is this a bike? Can you guys see? What am I holding? I know it's really silly. There's a reason I'm doing this. What is this? It's a picture of a bike, right? Guys, super silly demonstration, but I want to create a stickiness in your brain where you can remember this crazy girl trying to get on a piece of paper saying that it's a bike. It is a picture of a bike. I cannot put my helmet on, go get my sneakers on, and ride to the park because this is a picture of a bike, right? I want you guys to remember this because what we're picturing in our heads more often than not is not the real thing. A picture is a representation of something that is real. It's a representation of something that is real, right? But I can't put a helmet on right away on that, right? It's a story about a thing, but it only represents it. It's not the real thing. It's the same thing that the stories we tell ourselves are shaped by assumptions, either from something that's happened in your past, something you're afraid that's going to happen in the future, but hasn't actually happened. It's a picture. It's not the real thing. I'm going to give you some examples because you too are going to be able to walk away today knowing, oh my gosh, that's my bike. You'll be able to immediately stop what you're doing when you're telling the stories over and over in your head and you go, that's my bike. And you're going to know that it's not real. And you're going to be able to conquer things that you would never have been able to conquer before. Are you guys ready for that today? Say, I'm excited. If you are ready to conquer your fears, you are ready to say, that is my bike And that is a picture, and that is not real. You're going to shut off that brain, the inside, that little subconscious brain saying, you're going to die, but you're not actually going to die, right? So I'm going to give you an example. You're not going to believe me, but the ones that know me, they know that this is a real story. I am really silly, by the way. So sorry. I get very silly when I'm nervous, and I'm always silly in general, actually. So it's fine. So I'm going to tell you a true story. Once upon a time, there was a little girl. Actually, I wasn't that little. Once upon a time, 3 years ago, there is a woman that was asked to join network marketing. Who here is in network marketing? I just want to know, because some people are real estate network marketing. They've got their own coaching businesses. Maybe they have their own programs. She was asked to join network marketing. And of course, I was like the busiest person in the world. It took my friend 5 times to get a hold of me, 5 times. As a professional makeup artist, I was on and off planes. I work with high profile clientele. I've flown around the world. I've done just amazing jobs, right? Amazing jobs. So, and I tell you that because I was so busy. Took her 5 times to get a hold of me. Yeah, 5 times. And every single time she called me back. And no one's here in network marketing? Am I not in the right, I'm not in the right place? Let's see, who here is network? Why don't you tell me what type of field you're in? If you're in coaching, network marketing, because all of this applies, right? So if she would have stopped at number 2, even at number 3, thousands of women wouldn't be here, right? Because she kept saying, Holly must be busy. She didn't start with these scenarios in her head of like, oh, she hates me. Oh, we're now not friends anymore, right? So I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to let you know something that happened in my life because of network marketing. So she said, will you join me? Blah, blah, blah. Finally, she got a hold of me. And of course, I was like, all the things. And then finally I said yes. And I said, okay, under one condition. One condition. She goes, okay, what is it? I never want to speak in front of people. I never want to talk on camera. I never want to stand on stage. I never want to give a presentation. I am behind the scenes. Very shy. Very, very shy. I would have thrown up and probably pottied my pants by now talking on this, right? I know you're laughing because some of y'all are like, that's me, right? Okay. I said, as long as I never have to do this, then I'll join you. And she said to me, no worries, no problem. You'll never have to do that. But then she asked me one of the most important questions I want you to ask yourself when we start talking about fear and what's holding you back. She said, are you open to learning? And I was like, fudge. I didn't say fudge. I said the other word, but I'm not going to say that word today, right? And I said, yes, I am open to learning because I'm a growth mindset. Who here is a growth mindset? Put growth in the chat. If you're a growth mindset, put growth in the chat. Because I was open to learning. And it took a lot of work. And it's taken a lot of work, right? She called me out. The best thing you could ever do for someone is call them out on their shift. Can I cuss on here? Call them out. Because sometimes it just takes that one person to say the one thing at the right time when you're open to hearing that completely changes the trajectory of your entire future. Who just got goosebumps? Do you want to change your future? Do you want to be the person that you were called to be? Do you want to make shift happen to become the woman or man that you were intended to be? It's going to take growth. And you're going to have to shut down that bike and say, I can do this. So what I did is I had this scenario playing over and over in my head, over and over again. Do you know that when you play scenarios over and over and over again in your head, you actually start to believe them? It's like phantom pain. I had this pain of like, I can't talk in front of people. I will actually die. I will stand on stage and I will actually die. So in my brain said, there's a bear chasing you. You're going to die. Right? That's a real thing. If a bear chased me, I'm probably going to die. If it's a big old bear, like, right? So in my head, this bear was chasing me and I'm going to die. But I didn't, because I said I was open and I went through training and then I went through more training and then I got on camera and I sucked. And then I got on camera again and I sucked less. And then I got more training and I'm here today. And I get to help you guys with that. Okay. So that is a real story. I am here today because someone said, are you open? So I asked you that earlier. Are you open to learning? I'm going to give you some scenarios that really go along with network marketing, goes along with coaching, goes along with, if you own your own business, you're going to have to reach out to people and talk to humans. You're going to have to talk to humans, right? You can't have somebody else do it for you. Marketing can only go so far. So let's say you're reaching out to someone, and all of you guys have done this. I want you to admit it. I can't reach out to Sarah again. She already ghosted me once. She hates me. She hates me. We're now not friends. You've reached out to Sarah. You've reached out to her again. She doesn't call you back. She's ghosted you. She hates you. And then you have this whole scenario playing in your head. She hates me. We're now not friends. I got to go eat a pint of ice cream. I got to tell my husband. And I got to tell all my friends. Who has done this? Y'all got to tell me you have. And in reality, Sarah's grandfather passed away and she has been out of town, devastated because it was her life. He was her life. And she didn't call you back because she had something going on, right? And then there was Tina. You called Tina once because she's like, that girl, you only call her one time, right? Maybe you texted her. Let's just do a text message. You texted her. She never responded, right? Oh no, we're now not friends anymore. She hates me. She's never gonna talk to me ever again. People think I'm stupid. Why did I join this whole network marketing thing? People think I'm stupid, right? But in reality, her son grabbed her phone and she never saw the message, right? Can you guys relate with some of these scenarios? So the bike in that situation, the picture of the bike is you creating these stories that have not actually happened. Can you guys put stories in the chat if you've done this? You probably have recently done this. If you've done any sort of reach outs today, you've already told yourself, well, this person, no, not for them. Oh, she's got enough money. This is definitely not for her. She's a famous makeup artist. She flies on jets. She was just to Greece. Why would she want to join my company? In reality, she cried herself to sleep almost every night because she had 7 babysitters on rotation taking care of her kids. She never saw her husband because they also own a gym. And she was waiting for someone to reach out to her and say, are you open? I got this thing that I'm doing. It sounds a little crazy, but are you open? That was me, right? So if my friend had created this story in her head and said, oh, well, that's not for her. She's on her way to Greece, right? Then a lot of people wouldn't be here today. Can you guys relate to that? So the next time that you have a story from the person you called, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 times and never got back with you, I want you to call it for what it is. This is my bike. I am creating a whole scenario in my head of something that's never actually happened. And I'm too embarrassed to even call my friend back and just talk to her and have a human conversation. Guys, you have an opportunity to completely change somebody's life with your business. Are you a mindset coach? Are you a coach? Are you in health and wellness? Do you sell a product that's going to change someone's life? By you not figuring out if it's a right fit for them, loving on them for who they are and being there for them in their life and not creating a whole scenario, you're changing the future of an entire family. My 2 boys have their mommy who picked them up every day from school. I'd never done that before. I'd never picked up my kids from school. They were always in aftercare. I have a relationship with my husband. I didn't have that before. So use this generational change. Absolutely. Use this scenario here. I'm going to give you a couple more examples because here's the deal. I want to borrow people. I don't want to bother people. But in reality, people need to be bothered. They need to be, thrown off a little bit because sometimes the path that they're on is the wrong path. They're shifting in the wrong direction. And you have a way to help them shift in the right direction. So really hone in on your purpose and what you're doing with the business that you have and really dial that in. I'm a shift maker. I help women shift so they can create change. I focus on outward confidence and I focus on inward confidence. I help women heal, grow, and pay it forward. I know what I do for a living. What do you do for a living? Have you guys ever had a training in here about what your elevator pitch is or what's your why? If not, I can do another one or someone can do that training. Because if you don't know what your why for what you're doing, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it, right? If you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, no one's going to follow you. They don't even know what you're doing. I'm like, oh, she does that, but I don't know why she's doing it. Why would I follow her? What's in it for me? right? So our storylines are shaped by assumptions, but not all assumptions are good. I want you to write that in the chat. Can someone please put that there? Some assumptions are great, but some assumptions are really bad. And that's what's going to hold you back, are those assumptions, right? How do we close the gap? So the next thing, how do we close the gap, right? So I'm going to give you another example. I'm like an analogy example girl. You guys like examples? I like play little stories in my head when someone says stories. So I'm going to give you another example of how do you close the gap from where you are today to where you want to be, because there's a gap there. There's a disconnect. So we want to go ahead and connect that. So I'm going to give you an example of my son, because this is the easiest one. And I know you guys have had examples of your kids that this has happened to. So what is reality and what is not reality, right? So what he was doing is he had an assumption, right? So my son finally, he's not a sports person. You know, Daddy, my husband's like a big time sports person. Of course, like how the heck do I have children that do not do sports and they're not sports people, right? So I finally convinced him to do track. He finally said, okay, I'll do track. He's also behind the scenes. He doesn't like to be seen, doesn't like to be heard. You know, mama's nipping that in the butt, right? I'm like, oh, no, you are not going to have this bike control your life. It's not real. It's a picture. It's not a real bike. You know, bear is not chasing you. You're not going to die. So he does track. He does amazing. He's going to practices and whatnot. So we go to the first track meeting and I look over and he's white. I mean, my son's already white. He's got blonde hair, blue eyes, pale skin. Yes, he's my child. He's my biological child. But he looks like my husband. Okay. So he's next to me. He's just white sitting there like, yeah, he's just, and I'm like, hey, bud. It's like, hi. I was like, okay, we're here. And he's like, nope. And I was like, yep. And he's like, I'm not running. I was like, Keegan, you worked so hard to get here. Have you guys ever done this before? You work so hard to get somewhere and to do something, and you go to do it and you quit because you're freaking scared, because you've played a scenario in your head that something's going to happen and you're probably going to die. So Keegan crawls underneath the little floorboard, holds on for dear life. Mommy, I'm not running. I said, Keegan, you've practiced. You're good. You're a great runner. Nope. I mean, there was nothing I could say to convince him. And if anybody knows me, I'm like, dude, you're freaking running. Like, you know your mother. I'm like, you are running. Tried to pull him out of the car, tried to convince him, tried to bribe him. His coach came over, tried to convince him he was not running. Keegan, what is going to happen? Mommy, I'm going to be last. Everyone's going to laugh at me, and I'm going to be last. I'm going to have no friends. So in his mind, the scenario, he's last. He's running last. I'm going to have no friends. Oh my gosh, the bear is chasing me. I'm going to die. So he had told this whole story in his head of something not actually happened, right? I finally get him out of the car. My husband, I get him out of the car. I'm fast forward through this. So get him out of the car. He's starting to walk towards, he's holding onto the gate. He's not moving. I said, I got to get the little one food. Mommy's mad. The little one's hungry. Daddy, you deal with this. And my husband's a lot more calm than I am, right? He's a lot more patient than I am. So they go, he finally gets to the bleachers. And I said, if you're not running, no Xbox, no goggle. What are those? Oh my gosh. The VR thingies, none of that. I'm like, Oculus. I'm like, you're not allowed to do anything. You're grounded, no electronics until you run, like ultimatum, like, I'm going to teach you. Right. So I'm with my other son getting him some food, and I get a call from Dad, and Dad says, I think we're in. Do you want to guess what happened? I think we're in. He's sitting on the bleachers and he saw a little girl be last. He saw her run around the track, and guess what everyone was doing? They were not laughing. They were cheering her on, and he's cheering her on. He got to see someone not only be last, but not get made fun of. Do you know how powerful it is to see someone do something that they were scared of, conquer their fears, not meaning that they're going to do it perfect, and then you saw that they did it? Oh my gosh, they can do this. Maybe I can do it too. Who here is afraid of public speaking? I want you to put public speaking in the chat, so you'll understand my massive fear. This wasn't just like a, oh, it makes me nervous. I don't know if I like public speaking. You know, not that. An actual serious fear of public speaking. Okay, put that in the chat while I finish my story. So Keegan watches this little girl be last. He got to cheer her on, and he got to watch everyone else cheer her on. So it gave him the confidence to be able to run. So he got up, put his uniform on, and he ran. He wasn't last. He was second to last, but he wasn't last. And then he got to participate in the entire track meet, cheering everyone else on who was. Guys, by you overcoming your fear, you are not only changing your entire future, but you are actually helping someone who's got goosebumps. You're helping someone else see that they can do it too. You can help someone shift in the right direction. You can help them heal so they're able to grow, and then they're able to pay it forward. When I went to my first public speaker training, I couldn't say my name in front of 5 people. If you don't believe me, go follow me on Facebook, Holly Lynch O'Brien, and you'll see me going, "My name is Holly." And literally turned around and I started crying. They had to stop the camera because I couldn't compose myself. I couldn't say my name in front of 5 people. And now I speak in front of hundreds. I did the same thing in front of hundreds of people. And it was only because I did it scared. And I realized I wasn't going to die. My first speech, I said my name, I cried, they turned the camera off, they turned it back on. And then my brain said, it's not a real bike. It's a picture of a bike. It's not a real bear. It's not chasing you. You're not going to die. And then I was able to get up and do it again. I was not great, but that's why you train. That's why you have coaches. That's why you're in this group. You want to learn to be better. So don't let your fear put a ceiling on your future, right? Because you can do it. Yes, Allison, you actually failed your speech class in high school because I couldn't stand up and talk in front of, oh my gosh, this is so good. I got to pull this up, right? This is huge. I didn't want to go to college because I went to cosmetology and I planned to go to college, but I didn't go because there's speech class. I was like, nope, not going. There's speech class. How many no's have ruined your future? So why don't we switch that around? Name something. You don't have to write it down, but name something, you can if you want to be vulnerable, that you want to get over, that you have that gap in between and you're not able to move past that because maybe you haven't seen someone else do it. You know, maybe you haven't experienced it. Maybe you haven't had a mentor that says you can do it. I want you to go back and rewatch this because this is really powerful. It is so simple. You're thinking, gosh, Holly, well, this is a really simple training, but it is a simple training. When I do this live, I actually bring up someone on stage who's afraid of public speaking, and we do it together, right? So if you ever want me live at one of your trainings, anyone on here, I do this same thing, and it's very silly. Can you see my picture? Oh, it's small. You know, there's a reason I do that, right? But I actually pull people up on stage because I get them to speak for the first time. The last time I did this, I had 2 girls that cried, and then they cried after saying, thank you for making me do that, because now I know I'm not going to die. And I've had messages from them after saying, thank you for doing that, because now I'm able to do my reel. I'm able to do my story, and I wasn't able to do that before, right? So I am also, I got my notes here because I'm nervous. So I also want to play something for you guys, because here's the deal. The next time you start building the stories in your mind and you start thinking of it as reality, I want you to picture the bike, right? I want you to picture the bike, because this representation is going to be really powerful for you, okay? I do have my blur on, but I did that so then I could like make it weird that I'm going like this back and forth. So I want you to picture the bike, right? And I want you to say to yourself, oh my gosh, this is my bike. Cancel. This isn't even real. This is a picture, right? This is a picture. This isn't even real. So fear of success. So you're actually self-sabotaging yourself, right? I'm sure you know this. Once you start getting successful, you'll start self-sabotaging, right? And you'll do something that kind of pulls you back. This is your bike. You're constantly saying, well, if I'm successful, then X, Y, Z is going to happen. So you're actually relating your success to something negative that's happened in your childhood. I'm not sure if you've realized what it is or not, but spend some time in prayer or meditation or quiet time, whatever you do, and start thinking of stories in your past that maybe you've experienced. Do you know, there's one thing, a little tip before I play something for you guys. Do you know that we can actually reprogram our brain for good or for bad? Reprogram the neurotransmitters in our brain for good or for bad. You could actually reprogram a scenario that happened, and you can insert little things. Can you guys hear my bearded dragons running around? You can insert little things that never actually were there and that never actually happened, but you've played it in your brain so many times that you think it's reality. So the next time you start arguing with your spouse, know that both of y'all are wrong. Both of you guys are wrong. They're somewhere in between because y'all are putting scenarios that never really happened. Go back and say, but Coach Holly said that you're wrong and I'm wrong. So we just need to kiss and make up because most likely is not the whole truth, right? So we'll actually reprogram our brain for positive. So I am a wonderful speaker. Do you know that's what I tell myself before I started training? I am a wonderful speaker. I speak with clarity. I speak with conviction. I speak with authority. And I'm going to change someone's life with me speaking. So I want you to do that. Your success, let me see whose name, Alicia, your success is going to change someone's future. When my success is changing my life right now. My success is helping me grow. My success is going to change someone else's future. My success that I'm experiencing is you fill in the blank. And I want you guys to all do that. It's a very simple exercise you can do every single day. And you will soon find out what your bike is. And you will soon find out that it's just a picture and it is not the real thing. So I'm going to play something for you guys and I want you to save it because this is powerful. When you are starting something new, you're not going to be confident and you're probably not going to be good at it. And that's okay. And I want you to recognize it. Okay. But beliefs create reality. I am starting something new and I will be good at it. I am starting something new and I'm learning to be super clear in speaking. Beliefs create reality. I want you to talk life over you because when you speak life, things start to grow. It's like watering a plant. You cannot get a plant, put it in some dirt and never water it and expect it to grow. So I want you to speak life over yourself. Speak it abundantly because then you'll truly start living. And that's how you start living. Okay. So I'm going to pull something up. I do need to make sure. Do you guys know who this man is? He's amazing. So go ahead and find this on Apple Music, A Life Worth Remembering. It's motivational speeches. But Tom Bilyeu, I don't know if I say his name right, but he is phenomenal. And I'm going to play this for you.
To the core. I want you to believe something to the core of your being.
Hear it?
Humans lead with belief. Once you understand that the belief has to come first, then you'll know what it is that you have to work on, because most people think they need to do something extraordinary in order to believe in themselves. But I'm telling you right now, if you don't believe in yourself first, you will never accomplish something great. For all of human history, the 4-minute mile stood as an impossible to break barrier, and people believed in it. They actually believed it was humanly impossible to do it. And so it was never broken, no matter how many times people tried. Pundits, everybody said, your heart will explode. There's no way that the human body can do that. But one guy, Roger Bannister, believed that it was possible. And even though he had no reason to believe that, he was able to train and train and train until he finally broke the 4-minute mile. The only person to do it because he was the only person that believed that it could be done. Now here's the crazy part about the story. Something that has stood for all of human history. 6 weeks after he broke the record, another person broke it, and then another, and another, and another, until dozens, and then hundreds, and then thousands of people had broken something that had stood for all of human history as a barrier that simply could not be broken. And the only thing that changed, they believed it could be done. And that's it. Once you understand that, once you know that first you have to cultivate the belief, then you're going to put your energy into the area that makes sense, actually learning to believe in yourself. And I don't need you to believe that you're extraordinary. I don't even need you to believe that you're capable of the 4-minute mile. The reality was Roger Bannister wasn't capable of the 4-minute mile, and that's why he had to train. But he had to believe that his energies would be rewarded before it made any sense to go out and do it. And it is literally shocking how much your mind will hold you back. If you think you can't do something, guess what? You're right. You can't do it. But if you allow yourself to believe that you can work your way to it, if you allow yourself to believe that simply by being human, you are the ultimate adaptation machine and you can make a demand of yourself to grow and get better, then all of a sudden you realize that your energies are going to be rewarded and you will put the energy in. And it's the people who dare to believe. It's the people who allow themselves to believe that. It's the people who cultivate that belief fiendishly. More than they think about anything else, they think about how capable they are. They imagine themselves doing it. They visualize, they think about it, they obsess over it. And when they do that, they're putting in the energy to actually get better. They're taking the steps. They're doing the things they need to do to get great. And that's where greatness is born. It is born out of that belief that putting in the time and energy, doing the hard things, persevering and pushing through, that all is going to be rewarded with success. But first you have to believe. First, you have to believe. So put your time and energy there. If you don't think you're capable of something, I'm telling you right now, the only thing you have to work on is belief. Because once you have that, nothing can stop you.
Okay, friends, was that powerful for you? I want you to save that, and I want you to listen to it every single day. What are you willing to do to become the person you are meant to be? That's only a question that you can answer. What are you willing to do to become the person you were meant to be? I was willing to do everything, right? Some people are willing to do a little bit, right? And some people are willing to do nothing. And that's okay too, because it's your choice. You get to choose who you want to be in your life. You haven't always been able to choose your circumstances, your family, where you were raised, but you can choose what's in here. You can choose what you put in here. You can choose your shift. So if you want to make shift happen, I want you to start believing that it's possible. There are some people saying, I'm willing to do everything. Okay. So here's the deal. I have something coming up that I want to invite you to, and it's free. I'm super excited. So it's okay if I share with you guys something that I'm a part of that you can also be a part of, right? So I want to share this really quick. Can you tell me who that was? Yes. What I'll do is after this, I will put it in the notes. And then I'll put a link in the chat so you guys can find it. Okay. So is it okay? Good. I can share with you. So let me share with you something that I'm doing. I have a show that's weekly on my Facebook. It's called Shift Happens. Total God download. One day it's like, woof, you're going to do a show. And I'm like, but I don't do shows. I don't talk in front of people. And that was like my bike again. I was like, nope, stop it, cancel. I started a show about 6-7 months ago. What's the month? It's October. I started a while ago, right? And Shift Happens. And what I do is I bring in people weekly about their shift. I interview people. I just interview. I'm very curious. I'm a curious person by nature. So I interview people, right? And we talk about what their shift was, how they got there, and how you can get there too, right? So that's one thing I want to invite you to. Shift Happens, right? I also want to invite you to a summit that I'm putting together that was based off of my show, Shift Happens, right? So I'm creating a summit. It's pre-recorded, starts November 15th. It's completely free. And I'm bringing in some heavy hitters from the TV industry. Here's the cool thing about having connections. So I've got NFL football players. I have ESPN reporters. I have the VP of training at Dale Carnegie at the Tampa office who are talking about fear of public speaking. I have authors. I have podcasts. I have, who else? I've got a big finance person that I'm trying to get on. So I'm crossing my fingers for that one. Someone that you really, really know. She was on Oprah and everything. So I have some heavy hitters that are going to be speaking on Shift Happens. And we're going over different pillars of shifting. So it's health. We've got mindset. We have people about relationships, anxiety, depression, the different topics, right? So I'm actually interviewing all these different people. Everyone's giving away something free for you to be able to learn. And we're just going to talk about shifting. And I would love to invite you. So if you're interested, please put Shift Happens. Actually, put summit. I'm sorry. Why don't you put the one word summit? Because I know some people already put Shift Happens. So put summit in the chat. And what I'll do is I'll be sending you the link to sign up. So it is pre-recorded. I'll be dropping 2 episodes a day. It's going to go for about 10 days, depending on my goal is 20 speakers. And you're going to be able to shift because here's the deal, guys. We all know sometimes it takes that one person saying that one thing at the right time that completely changes the trajectory of your entire future. You're watching, living, breathing proof right in front of you of someone that's happened to, right? So you just listened to about belief. Do you believe it's possible? What's holding you back? What are you willing to do to become the person you are meant to be? Comment Summit. I'll send you the information and we'll make shift happen and we'll do it together. So I just want to say thank you for watching. I went over a little bit. I apologize, but thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for supporting my journey. Because of people like you, I'm living the dream. I'm the person that God intended me to be, and I'm able to talk to people about this. So if you would like me on one of your shows, let me know. I'm open, and let's go make shift happen together, because guys, we can change the world. I believe it. So say bye. Thank you for joining. Say summit, summit, summit if you want to come. And then I'll go ahead and put the belief speech after this. Hope you guys have a good day. Happy Monday, and God bless.